Welcome to today's video. I'm so excited because I'm going to be talking about the new palette from Clionadh Cosmetics, the Deep Sea Treasures palette, as well as nail polishes that are launching along with the palette. And this collection is launching today, May 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And they're also going to be restocking a bunch of other shadows such as Regal, Emboss, Radiance, Royal Peach, etc. at the same time, part of their rolling restock. And I did receive these in PR, so thank you so much to Clionadh Cosmetics for sending them over to me so I could try them out. And I also do have an affiliate code with Clionadh. I will put up on the screen in case you're interested in any of these products. This is a 8-pan eyeshadow palette, no mattes, and the retail value is going to be 125 Canadian, which will be approximately $93.50. I'm so excited to see a themed eyeshadow palette from Clionadh. I love the theming and I love the artwork on the packaging, and I think that the multi-chromes inside really reflect a theme, at least of what I think of Deep Sea Treasures. And of course, I'm going to be doing some swatch comparisons and then 2 looks, and then I'll give you some of my initial thoughts at the end of the video, so let's get right into it. I'm going to be using the Blend Money Dollhouse palette, and I'm first going in with the shade Plastic right into my crease, and I want this to pack quite a bit of a punch. Take one guess which shade I'm going to be using. I'm actually going to try to use as many shimmer shadows as possible, so I'm going to probably use 3 in this look, 3 or 4, and then I'll try to use the other 4 in the other look. But usually with multi-chromes, I do recommend using them kind of 1, 2 max at a time if you want to really appreciate them for their shifts. And I'm going to bring this out here as well. So I'm taking Silhouette, and I'm just going to use that to kind of smoke it out here on this outer corner. And I'm going to go back in with this brush and a little bit of Undress and just use that to blend this out. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush and just run it underneath my lower lash line. And then taking a little bit of Undress and just blending it into the edges of that. And then just really blowing this out. There we go, it's super smoky. Using the Karla Cosmetics Fix Potion, I'm just placing a little bit on my lid and then just wiping off any excess with my finger by tapping it. So I'm gonna go in with Ring of Fire and Shipwreck, but first I'm gonna use Ring of Fire. So I'm just gonna essentially put this over where I kind of smoked it out. My mic died, so voiceover Millie is taking over. So I'm putting on more Shipwreck, and then I'm going in with Ring of Fire. You can see that it is a little bit on the flaky side, but it does smooth out. It is very sparkly and it's a little bit on the sheer side, but with the help of the tacky primer, it does look a bit more opaque, and I'm just adding on a little bit more into the center crease there, and then using just the tiniest bit of the Karla Fix Potion underneath my lower lash line, and then going in with Scuba, then wiping off that brush and going in with Saltwater Pearl for the inner corner highlight. And here is the first finished look. For the second look, I'm also using the Dollhouse palette from Blend Money Cosmetics, and I'm first taking Rouge in the inner third of my crease and blending it out, and then right next to that going in with No Strings, and then packing on Cinched on the outer corner with a really, really small brush. This is the one from Makeup Geek, the T63, and I'm just first laying it down. And then I wanted to deepen this up even more, just to really channel deep sea, and I went in with Stitched, and I just put on a little bit and kind of blended it in. Taking the Karla Cosmetics Fix Potion on a really small detailed brush, and I'm going in with the bends, and then I went in with Cephalopod on the inner corner. You can see it's a little bit textured just the way that it's applying using my brush, but it did smooth out and it doesn't accentuate any skin texture. And for the lower lash line, I again went in with the Karla Fix Potion just to add a little bit of tackiness and prevent any fallout, and I used Kelp Forest, and then went in with Fool's Gold for the rest of the lower lash line. And then of course highlighted my inner corner with Saltwater Pearl, and here is the second finished look. So I do have quite a bit of experience with Clionadh shadows, specifically the stained glass shadows. I have a whole Clionadh Cosmetics playlist featuring the stained glass collection and doing swatch comparisons and tutorials, etc. So I know the different formulas, the textures, and how they apply, how they work, how they look, all of that. And I could definitely tell that these are right on par with all other Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadows. Clionadh has always been really consistent with creating some really beautiful shadows. So there are 4 shadows. You can kind of see in the pan which ones they are, that are a little bit more of a silky smooth formula. So Saltwater Pearl, Fool's Gold, Kelp Forest, and Shipwreck. And then the others are a little bit chunky, with I think Ring of Fire being the chunky. They're more like their glitter formula, which does not contain any glitter. It's just a name for them because they are so sparkly and shiny. So let's talk about some of the shades. Saltwater Pearl, I think, is one of the most unique shadows in the palette, along with Scuba, because I just could not find anything like Scuba. I thought I had something similar, but the tone of it is pretty unique. And the Shipwreck is, you know, it's similar to the other black to red shifting multi-chrome we've already seen. However, it has a purple aspect to it, which is really, really cool. But it is not the shiniest, which is very common with this kind of shadow, though it is very nice and smooth. And the shift is still very apparent. I think my favorite shade from here is Ring of Fire. It is just truly the perfect name for that shadow. It's so beautiful. It is, like I said, a little bit on the chunky side, but it also is a little bit layerable, which I love that, which I think most of these shadows are layerable. I think the most opaque shade is Shipwreck, Fool's Gold, and Kelp Forest. There are some similar shadows to Fool's Gold and Kelp Forest for sure, though the shift of Kelp Forest is a bit more unique. Still, they are a little bit similar, but nevertheless, they are beautiful. Now, these are full-size pans, and I understand this palette is expensive. I think this is a great introduction to Clionadh if you have no experience with multi-chrome eyeshadows, indie eyeshadows, and you don't really want to dip into singles, because I understand they can be very, very overwhelming, especially when you have such a variety of multi-chrome shadows to look through. So if you have a lot, and I mean a lot, of single eyeshadows from other brands, you might have some similar shades, as you can see from the swatch comparisons. But if you're new to the brand, new to indie, then I think this is a great value, and you get to try out a couple different of their textures for a smaller price, as they are bundled in this palette, so that makes them a little bit less pricey. So let me know in the comments below if you plan on picking this palette up, or are you unsure? Are you going to wait to see if they will launch these individually? I would definitely love to see that. Or are you on the fence? I would love to hear your thoughts. And that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.